So yeah, we're just talking about the contextualization of why we started to change the name for the DJ version of Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios. Welcome to the news. Stay to the end to find out how we get there. So yeah, we're just talking about how we changed the name for a DJ version of Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios into Dinky T and C4G. And it's meant to be able to try to conjure up music that's symbolized by chalk symbols in color. Chalk symbols in color meaning characters for every minute of a DJ set. So we're trying to symbolize the action of trying to develop characters, cartoon characters in the form of music by making a DJ set that corresponds to developing also live performances and also making sound that can come from any which direction to be able to develop characterizations of DJ and sort of sound set developments by making chalk outlines, colored chalk outlines like colors of the rainbow, but different stories to tell for every single minute of the DJ set, for example, to be able to try to develop iterations and pictures and picturesque basically like outlines to be able to try to follow like a game of hopscotch, jumping from one number to the next. But the difference is it's not in numerical order, it's in picture order. More or less, it's in picture order. So every minute of a DJ set is represented by a picture, similar to this podcast, how there's a different cover picture for every podcast. So that would be an example, is trying to play hopscotch but go down the DJ set and have an intention, a story, a goal in mind for where to get to next, how to use the DJ set as a way to leverage forward motion as a brand, as a company, as Dinky T and C4G, as a fashion brand, as sort of a modernization of the process to be able to get somewhere else by using these colored lily pads, these colored chalk lily pads, to be able to develop new sounds, to be able to skip down the lily pads, to be able to tell the story of our brand of Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios, just like this podcast, to illustrate how people have the ability to follow in our footsteps and try to develop more media, more video, to be able to acknowledge the unique, incredible, crazy endlessness of a type of energy and power that's within all people, because we are everything and everything is all people, and we are all sort of needing to unlock the hidden door, unlock the hidden locked door, basically, that is sort of the whole purpose. Like John Rockefeller, his book Unlock the Hidden Door, which is about unlocking the hidden door, more or less, because that's like the purpose of what we're talking about, is to try to develop like a cartoon process, like basically like a like an anime, but also like a comic book strip, basically, where we have like a storyboard that's like a comic book strip, and every minute of a DJ set is trying to unlock different pictures from around the world, from different depictions, from different countries, from different stories, to be able to try to unlock, just like a game of hopscotch. Every time you land on the next number in the game of hopscotch, you're unlocking the release of getting to that number, and you advance further down the board. We're trying to make these boards where it's like a board game, and it's like Alice Wonderland, where we activate all aspects of the pictures, and the pictures come to life to a certain extent, like through the performance, through a DJ set performance of developing new music, new sounds. And whether it's any like using DJ turntables or any which way we are necessitating to develop new sounds, that's the intention, that's the goal, is to develop unique, peculiar, crazy experiences through the use of sound and blending two sound sources together, other GarageBand like internal hardware, software between the laptop and DJ turntables, to make unique, crazy experiences, to unleash and unlock those chalk outline representations of every minute of the DJ set, going down it like a hopscotch, skipping down each number in the hopscotch thing to unlock and unrelease each aspect of those pictures and the depictions of the feelings of the story, of the concept, of the mindset, for every minute of the sound performance experience, to try to then release more on the other side too, more on the flip side too, where we start with the end and go to the beginning, where we're talking about releasing assets into the world, starting with the end result and trying to work back to the beginning, basically doing a hopscotch backwards, basically, to try to unlock and release the beginning, and starting at the end result of where we want to go, and then going backwards to the beginning to try to get to the end result, and start with the end result and go back to the beginning, just like we talk about demand to supply, not supply to demand, not supply to demand, but demand to supply. and this mindset to transpose into starting with the success mindset and starting with the idea that success is already there and then flipping it around, in essence, is similar to the idea and the ideation of also like affirming investing as a concept, as a mentality, as a mindset that corresponds to people in the world that are experts, such as Jim Cramer, who has a show that gives out, and he's crazy on the show, and he gives out answers to stocks that he thinks are going to go up, and a lot of times he's a seasoned analyst, but in essence you have to follow people that are giving the answers. It's not like a casino where somebody's not necessarily there that is like kind of an expert that's like has reliability on expertise giving answers and whispering answers at the casino to potentially be able to profit. But you have these profit people that are actually whispering answers that are consistent, have track records that are whispering answers. So following the whispers is what we're trying to do. Follow the whispers as we whisper music into the air, developing chalk outlines to develop a pathway to develop a set of music to be able to unleash and play business music as we go forward in time, to unleash the characters, unleash the cartoon characters that are underneath the hopscotch trail that we're trying to paint, and also hop on and release the cartoon characters that are symbolized by the actions that we're trying to take with every hopscotch step forward in time, to be able to also reverse time and go backwards, start in the backwards and work towards the front, to be able to unleash and release assets around the world, so all people can share in assets, all monetary assets around the world, and also following the indicators and the indications for all people in the world to follow from the experts that are giving the answers to some extent to certain stocks and certain asset motion in the future, because there's experts and expert analysis giving and offering the guidance like Jim Cramer to be able to make forward motion and take forward steps to be able to get gains and be able to gain and be able to take actions, because we're working towards the back and we're starting towards the solution. We just need to paint a picture towards the ground to be able to reach the ground, in essence. But we're starting with success as a mind, if you will, to try to develop hopscotch, play hopscotch, and try to reach the whole world, to develop a philanthropy energy grid, the whole world with a philanthropy energy grid, connection, and also a global good deeds economy, to connect. And that's how we paint the picture, by starting with the end result and listening to experts so that we can all advance our assets globally, global account management to globally grow all of our assets collectively as a world people, all 8 billion people collectively under one hedge fund of energy. In this podcast we talk about it as ideally the global philanthropy energy grid and also the global good deeds economy, because we control it. All the people in the world control that economy, and we then therefore generate assets. Asset energy. That's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech, Change for Game Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye. And let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's all remember to push for world peace every single day. Let's push for world peace every single day. And also, let's remember to try to clear the animal shelters. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world. Let's clear all the animal shelters in the world, because we can foster all the shelter animals. We can adopt all the shelter animals in the world. We can rescue all the shelter animals in the world, and we can also hire the shelter animals as healers. We can also hire the shelter animals as healers all throughout the world, so that they don't have to be mistreated in animal shelters, and we can clear the animal shelters, and we can hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities. Hire the shelter animals as healers throughout our communities, because they also work for free, and they could use better purpose and use better jobs and be able to add value and be therapeutic energy for humans and humanity, to help us be more harmonious as humans and among humanity for all the animals in the world, to clear all the animal shelters, to try to get them to transition their energy in terms of therapeutic energy to all humans, so we can clear the animal shelters to add value to humanity in terms of harmony if possible. And let's push for world peace every single day and clear the animal shelters every day. That's all for now. Thanks again. Dinky Tech and Change for Game Studios. Bye. Peace. Bye.